Hello there. The last time I read The Witches, the Grand High Witch had a scheme. She had developed this secret formula called Delayed Action Mouse Maker. Delayed Action Mouse Maker. This is her scheme for getting rid of children in England. She's terrible, horrible. What will become of all the children? But before I start, I do need to put on my gloves. And I do have my wig, yes, all set. I've been thinking about this. Let's see. Delayed Action Mouse Maker, they chanted. She's done it again. Her grandness has concocted yet another of her wondrous magic child killers. How do we make it, oh brilliant one? And if you remember, the Grand High Witch is at a big conference and she's told all the witches in the audience that this Delayed Action Mouse Maker will be just the thing to get rid of all the children in England. And all the people in the audience are all pumped up and they want to know all about it. Exercise patience, answered the Grand High Witch. First, I am explaining to you how my Formula 86 Delayed Action Mouse Maker is working. Listen carefully. We are listening, cried the audience, who were now jumping up and down in their chairs with excitement. Delayed Action Mouse Maker is a green liquid, explained the Grand High Witch, and one droplet in each chalk or sweet will be quite enough. So here what happens. Child eats chalk, which has in it Delayed Action Mouse Maker liquid. Child goes home, feeling fine. Child goes to bed, still feeling fine. Child wakes up in the morning, still okay. Child goes to school, still feeling fine. Formula, you understand, is delayed action and is not working yet. We understand, oh brainy one, cried the audience. But when does it start working? It is starting to work at exactly 9 o'clock when the child is arriving at school, shouted the Grand High Witch triumphantly. Child arrives at school. Delayed Action Mouse Maker immediately starts to work. Child starts to shrink. Child is starting to grow fur. Child is starting to grow tail. All is happening in precisely 26 seconds. After 26 seconds, child is not a child any longer. It is a mouse. A mouse, cried the audience. What a frumptuous thought. Classrooms will all be swarming with mice, shouted the Grand High Witch. Chaos and pandemonium will be reigning in every school in England. Teachers will be hopping up and down. Women teachers will be standing on desks and holding up skirts and yelling, help, help, help. They will, cried the audience. And what, shouted the Grand High Witch, is happening next in every school? Tell us, they cried. Tell us, oh brainy one. The Grand High Witch stretched her stringy neck forward and grinned at the audience, showing 2 rows of pointed teeth, slightly blue. She raised her voice louder than ever and shouted, Mouse traps is coming out. Mouse traps, cried the witches. And cheese, shouted the Grand High Witch. Teachers is all rushing and running out and getting mouse traps and baiting them with cheese and putting them down all over the school. Mice is nibbling cheese. Mouse traps is going off all over school. Mouse traps is going snappity snap and mouse heads rolling across the floor like marbles. All over England, in every school in England, noise of snapping, mousetraps will be heard. At this point, the disgusting old Grand High Witch began to do a sort of witch's dance up there on the platform, stamping her feet and clapping her hands. The entire audience joined in the clapping and the foot stomping. They were making such a tremendous racket that I thought surely Mr. Stringer would hear it and come banging at the door, but he didn't. Then, above all the noise, I heard the voice of the Grand High Witch screaming out some sort of an awful gloating song. Down with children, do them in, boil the bones and fry their skin, bish them, squish them, bash them, mash them, break them, shake them, slash them, smash them, offer chalks with magic powder, say eat up, then say it louder, cream them full of sticky eats, send them home with guzzling sweets, and in the morning, little fools, go marching off to separate schools. A girl feels sick and goes all pale. She yells, "Hey, look, I've grown a tail." A boy who's standing next to her screams, "Help! I think I'm growing fur." Another shouts, "You look like freaks. There's whiskers growing on our cheeks." A boy who was extremely tall cries out, "What's wrong? I'm growing small." 4 tiny legs begin to sprout from everybody round about, and all at once, all in a trice, there are no children, only mice. In every school is mice galore, all running round the schoolroom floor. And all the poor demented teachers is yelling, "Hey, who are these creatures?" They stand upon the desks and shout, "Get out, you filthy mice, get out! Will someone fetch some mousetraps, please? And don't forget to bring the cheese." Now mousetraps come and every trap goes snippy snip and snappy snap. The mousetraps have a powerful spring. The springs go crack and snap and ping. Is lovely noise for us to hear. Is music to a witch's ear. Dead mice is every place around, piled 2 feet deep upon the ground, with teachers searching left and right, but not a single child in sight. The teachers cry, "What's going on? Oh, where have all the children gone? It's 9:30, and as a rule, they're never late as this for school." Poor teachers don't know what to do. Some sit and read, and just a few amuse themselves throughout the day by sweeping all the mice away. And all us witches shout, "Hooray!" Oh, what is she sweeping? Oh, the mice. The recipe. I hope you haven't forgotten that while all this was going on, I was still stuck behind the screen on my hands and knees with one eye glued to the crack. I don't know how long I had been there, but it seemed like forever. The worst part of it was not being allowed to cough or make a sound, and knowing that if I did, I was as good as dead. And all the way through, I was living in constant terror that one of the witches in the back row was going to get a whiff of my presence through those special nose holes of hers. My only hope, as I saw it, was the fact that I hadn't washed for days. That, and the never-ending excitement and clapping and shouting that was going on in the room. The witches were thinking of nothing except the Grand High Witch up there on the platform and her great plan for wiping out all the children in England. They certainly weren't sniffing around for a child in the room. In their wildest dreams, if witches have dreams, that would never have occurred to any of them. I kept still and prayed. The Grand High Witch's dreadful gloating song was over now, and the audience was clapping madly and shouting, "Brilliant! Sensational! Marvelous! You are a genius! Oh, brainy one! It is a thrilling invention, the delayed action mouse maker. It is a winner. And the beauty of it is that the teachers will be the ones who bump off the stinking little children. It won't be us doing it. We shall never get caught. Witches are never caught, snapped the Grand High Witch. Attention now! I want everybody's attention, for I am about to be telling you what you must do to prepare Formula 86 Delayed Action Mouse Maker. Suddenly, there came a great gasp from the audience. This was followed by a hubbub of shrieking and yelling, and I saw many of the witches leaping to their feet and pointing at the platform and crying out, "Mice! Mice! Mice!" She's done it to show us. The brainy one has turned 2 children into mice, and there they are. I looked toward the platform. The mice were there all right, 2 of them, running around near the Grand High Witch's skirts. But those were not field mice or house mice or wood mice or harvest mice. They were white mice. I recognized them immediately as being my own little William and Mary. "Mice!" shouted the audience. "Our leader has made mice to appear out of nowhere. Get the mouse traps. Fetch the cheese." I saw the Grand High Witch peering down at the floor and staring with obvious puzzlement at William and Mary. She bent lower to get a close look. Then she straightened up and shouted, "Quiet!" Oh, wow. William and Mary, are they in danger? Oh, poor little William and Mary. Well, I will continue this later. Have a wonderful day.